Morning. I'm setting myself a little sewing challenge today because I have ended up with a great big basket full of scraps. Okay, it is driving me nuts. So what I'm going to do is, you shouldn't be in there. Right, sorry. I don't know if you remember, it was last year or year before, I did this scrap challenge to myself where I just sat and sewed and sewed and sewed and sewed all sorts of sizes of scraps together and made, basically, I think we call them crumbs, crumb quilting type stuff. Anyway, I found it really useful. I made some really nice bags out of it. So I've just unearthed all this again. I completely forgot I'd had it, because this is what happens when you've got too much. It looks like I was sort of planning to do some quilting squares. No idea. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, because when I did this, I remember it being an absolute faff and it was a real pain to do, to be honest. So what I thought I would do with, let me just show you all these first of all. I mean, they're great fun when they're done. You know, they are completely bonkers. But as I say, they end up making some really nice projects, bags, whatever you want to make out of them, really. So, yeah, so I found all these, as I said. So these big ones, well, I say big, they're not that big, but what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping it will work, is I'm going to stitch them in big pieces like this. Okay, this is quite a big piece of fabric. This is from the lovely Connie, and I've just got scraps of that left now. I think this was another one that Connie sent me, bless her. But yeah, I mean, they're lovely fabrics. So what I'm planning to do, I don't know if it's making any sense whatsoever, I'm going to stitch them all together in great big patchworky pieces, and then I'm going to cut them up. I'm going to start cutting like down one, down the middle one way and down the middle the other, turning the patches, stitching them together, and just keep going until I end up with, something like this with smaller squares. No idea if it'll work. Probably won't, but yeah, as I say, I've got all these beautiful fabrics. That one I might not actually, because I do love that one. Actually, in that one, sorry, I love this. This is beautiful, Connie. This fabric, absolutely love it. Yeah, I might save those. Yeah, here we go. Look, we're cherry picking already. But yeah, I know Connie sent me these to make sewing books for her granddaughters and stuff. So yeah, I've got some all sorts in here. Red ticking. Well, it's all cotton weight. This is all lightweight. This, I don't know what this was. It was obviously the inside of something. I was making something, a little kid's coat, I expect, because I used to make those a while ago. Yeah, so I'm just going to stitch, as I say, all these together in big pieces and cut and cut and cut. And I thought it'd be interesting for you. You won't watch the stitching because that's going to be dead boring. But I thought it'd be interesting for you to see. See, I've got odd bits like this. These were fat quarters. And I've made things out of it, obviously. So, yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. It's going to be very colourful. Oh, got a butterfly there. Oh, pretty. Yeah. And then I've got some little pieces. All sorts. Okay. Planes, patterns. Yeah, I'm just getting fed up with all these hanging around now. I really am. So they're all the same weight. There is a denim in here. I might take that out because that'd be too heavy. I've got an old shirt here. Yeah, you get the idea. So I'll pause it now. I'll do a load of stitching. I'll come back and show you the first cut. How's that? Won't be long. Well, will be for me, but not for you. I'm just making a start. I thought I'd show you the start. So simple as, just going to put them together, right sides together and stitch. And then I'm just going to let it grow. I'll do a little bit with you because I know for some people they like to watch that. But anyway, here we go. Not going to be too fussy. I need my little thread bunnies. Okay, I'm just going to keep going in a great long line. I don't care how what size these are. I'm just going to keep going, and yeah, as I say, then I'll cut it into whatever size comes next. Lost my other thread, bunny. Come here. Right, you probably get the idea. I'm just going to keep going and going and going, and then I'm going to start slicing. I'll bring you back for the slicing. Won't be long. Right, the first bit of stitching is done. Got rather a lot here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take it to my cutting table, and it started out, where are we? It started out that width, the sort of the pieces that I had. So, and then it went to longer pieces. So I'm going to use that as my first cutting line. So I'm going to cut, hopefully, an even edge all the way through all of this, and then show you, there's loads of it. Okay, and then stitch those two pieces together, and then I'll show you that bit. I won't be long. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing very well, but basically I've just cut the first strip and kind of straightening up the bottom bit, because it all, you know, they're all different lengths. So yeah, I was going to use a ruler, but I'm just having to freehand it because they're all such different heights and widths and that, so I'm just freewheeling. So yeah, this will give you an idea of how long it is. So this piece, you know, they're more or less the same height, those ones. So I'm just going to carry on to these pieces now and make them all the same height. I'm sorry, this is really bad, but as I say, my ruler's just not long enough. And I didn't want to cut it all to 6 inches, which is, you know, I've got a 6-inch ruler. So I thought I'd just freehand it, kind of judge it, and let's see how we go. It might look absolutely pants and you might never see this video. Simple as. Or it might look really good. And then I go, wow. Okay. So that's another piece. Yeah, the idea is that it's less sewing, because the last time I did this, holy moly, it took me, I think, hours is the best estimate. Sorry, I'll just organise myself here. What height do I want to cut now? If I start here, I've got a nice new blade in my rotary cutter, so it's cutting like a dream. Trying to keep semi-straight. Doesn't really matter when you're crumb quilting. This is kind of what it's going to be technically, I guess, is crumb quilting. So but I'm just fed up with having so many little bits that, you know, they're really not useful for anything. They're not big enough to line a bag with or anything like that. So yeah, I thought this would be a really good use for them. So as you can probably see, okay, so what I should do now is completely mix them up and just stitch really long lines. Let me just straighten it up. Oh, actually, this was, which edge did I cut? That edge there. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is grab pieces like this one and start stitching. Right sides together, of course. Not taking any notice of what colour is underneath it. I'm just going to stitch them on. Actually, I have to go that way. No. Where are you? Hang on. Hang on. No, that's the right way. Come on, Susan, brain. Right. There. Onto there. Right, stop messing around, silly fabric. So yeah, I'm just going to stitch that on there, And that's going to match up completely. Okay, so we'll take it the other end. And we will sew it on the shawl. Just want to check it doesn't matchy. I don't want it matching at all. So, no, that one's fine. So yeah, I'll sit and stitch this one now. And then when it's together, it will, yeah, I'll show you back in a tick. Right, I've stitched all those together. So now the next stage, I don't know if you can see, I've got a massive pile here. Let me just lift you up slightly because you're a bit down, aren't you? There we are. So the next stage is to, I've got some big blocks here because obviously they were big pieces. So what I'm going to start doing is cutting those through the middle. And yeah, getting rid of the big blocks, and then I'll stitch all those together. So I'm just going to try and angle it that, I don't know what you can see, not a lot. Yeah, I'm just going to go right through big blocks like that. Okay, and so I end up with smaller blocks, and then we can stitch those together. So I'll just cut these with you. I think we'll make them all the same size now because it's going to make stitching an awful lot easier. It was getting a bit complicated. So I need to, it's quite a big block there of red, so let me just chop that up there. This is so much quicker. As I say, last time I did this I was sewing little strips, you know, little pieces, which is fine if that's all you've got left, but as I say, these pieces have just been hanging around forever. And they're not big enough to do you know, a decent sized project with, basically. So yeah, they are being stitched together, and hopefully it'll become a really pretty piece of crazy fabric I can then make into other things. And I don't know if you can hear me because I am talking away from the camera. I apologise if you really can't. Right, okay, so now as you can see, we are building pattern upon pattern upon pattern. I mean, you could stop there, you know, they're big patches, but you could stop there. I'm going to go just a little bit more, I think. I want them a little bit more mixed up than I've got them at the moment. Yeah, so I'll stitch those and I'll see you back on the cutting table. Won't be long. Right, I think I've gone as small as I want to go. And so I didn't want it to be too teeny tiny bits. Well, you can see I've got it around the wrong way. Yeah, so I will be careful when I'm cutting it and make it into smaller bit, you know, as you sort of go along. So if I sort of have that as a center of a bag, if you like, and then I'll just sort of cut around there like that. So yeah, but yeah, anyway, so I've reduced my big pile. Let me just pop you back down there. I have got some odd pieces, which is fine. I can make these, I can stitch these onto other bits if I want to. These, again, you know, they look really interesting, so yeah, I can use them for applique or whatever. I have got, move this over here. Yeah, I've still got a pile. Let me just grab it all. I've still got a pile. Actually, I might stitch all these together. So that's my big piece, and then I've still got this little pile here, which, believe me, is like half of what I had. Let me just pop you down there. Yeah, so and I've still got a few bits in the basket here, but they're more white pieces and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to put them in there, and I will probably start again with a smaller one, more crummy quilty rather than this bigger one. So I'm going to give it a good press, and I'm going to start cutting into it. And yeah, they're great fun. I love making these. Like I said, the last time I did a piece, it just took me hours, hours and hours and hours. I've got some chunky seams, I've got some bits like this in there, so I will go through and, you know, just chop off bits like this, bits that shouldn't be there basically. They were odd bits on the end. So yeah, as I say, I love doing it. That was probably as boring as, but there it is. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.